Hi, this is Dr. Rahman Beckwith, and I am here to teach you something amazing today. A little bit about myself. I integrate positive psychology and spirituality to create unique approaches to holistic well-being. Today's article that I have written and feel I must share with you is about absolute divine unity versus energetic vampirism. And first, I'll define these topics to you and I'll help you to understand how this, if mastered, could change your life. You could become extraordinary. And just absorbing today what I'm telling you, it can change your reality. So listen closely. I'll be using my notes so that I don't miss any of the important topics. Okay. Let's start with the basic understanding of human nature. Many of people's concerns come from worry about provision and security. And so this article addresses that in ways that will rock your world. I'll explain this concept of absolute divine unity, which I learned from the lightning strikingly clear teachings of Abdul Qadir Jilani. This is one of many books that I was reading some years ago, just absorbing and understanding this concept. So now I have come to apply it and be able to share it with you, and it's just groundbreaking and life-changing. So let's get on with it. So Abdul Qadir Jilani, radiallahu anhu, God be pleased with him, puts it in Sufi terms, saying that humans should never see their fellow creatures in terms of harm or benefit, but rather he encourages them to cling to the door of the Lord of Truth, as he says. This is where one awaits one's allotted worldly shares, and he or she receives them from God in honor and dignity instead of groveling after them in the world. So, and I'll give my modern interpretation of this, and also I'll give a personal example from a recent experience where I saw how this really plays out, and you can understand it. So now this groveling can be translated into energetic vampirism, because it is when you are trying to pull energy from creatures and other people in the world, and it's the cause of many problems. Believing in duality causes you to look to the world and other people to fulfill your needs. You look to people to improve your worldly conditions, to supply you with energy in the form of love, money, praise, recognition, approval, food, gifts, etc. This causes a lot of discord, tension, and disappointment because the material world was never meant to be lasting or reliable. Ultimately, the divine source within you and all around you should be what you look to for this fulfillment. Thus, the solution is to connect to God through an understanding of absolute divine unity. Many people touch upon this understanding by chalking up situations that they can't discern or control to God in good faith. In this way, situations such as illness or uncertainty command surrender from many people. However, few people manage to live in a state of constant recognition that God is the one and only doer, sustainer, provider, judger, etc. This would require existing in a state of constant remembrance of God, also known as zikr. In the past, only saints or unique beings have achieved this state of awareness. It is certainly a game-changing level of consciousness, offering a transcendent and enjoyable perspective of reality. We can love God and all of creation as part of our divine self. We can manifest what we need We can manifest what we need with ease and grace. The good news is achieving this state of mind is not really beyond our capacities. You see, luckily we have many opportunities to climb up to this heavenly state where our understanding, consciousness, and perspective are connected to the source of all reality. You probably have an area of your life that is driving you to that perspective right now. Think of something in your life that you feel is not enough. Any area where you feel that you aren't receiving enough from the world is a call for you to return to the ultimate source within you. Did you get that? Anywhere that you feel deficient is a call for you to find that fulfillment. It could be an area where you feel that you yourself aren't enough as well. For people, this often relates to subjects such as money or relationships, as those are sensitive subjects which offer great learning opportunities. In any case, you must turn to your divine connection to fulfill your needs, whatever they may be. Otherwise, you may be trying to fill your depleted feelings from the world in a vampiric way. But most creatures are just as depleted as you are, and these other people cannot fill a void which in truth can only be satisfied by your own divine connection. No person, place, or thing can be your supply. The material dimension can never provide lasting, adequate substitute for direct divine connection. No amount of money, success, relationships, possession, etc. will ever fill the God-shaped hole in your heart. The good news is that once you set up your connection to the divine through your new enlightened understandings, perhaps gleaned through regular meditation and connection to Source, you will have immense fulfillment and energy. You will have more power to achieve high-level goals and to genuinely give to others. You will be as a god or goddess on the earth, meaning your connection to the divine will be sustaining to you and provide light to those around you. You will be as angels are, shining light, love, helpfulness, support, acceptance, approval, and all of those beautiful things to others because you will be subsisting upon all of that energy yourself coming directly from God, just as they do. You will receive divine love, support, acceptance, and helpfulness all of the time. You will be able to love and give and work for others with an open heart, knowing that the universe reimburses all of your efforts many, many, many times over. You will receive that payment as infinite sustenance in the form of physical, material, mental, emotional, and spiritual nourishment. It will sometimes come to you from sources you could not have imagined and would not have expected. This is a trademark of divine gracious giving to someone who is newly opening to this understanding. God will provide in surprising ways to show you that there is truly infinite care, nourishment, protection, and provision for you. So look for those surprises. So I have a personal story that I will share. It's kind of funny and silly, but it's a great example of this. So I want you to have a glimpse of it. And what this whole state of mind shift is really about is seeing the examples in every moment and understanding the divine reality so that you don't get duped by the old-fashioned way of thinking that that others are going to fill your needs or that some object or situation will fill your needs. So don't be duped. So this is my recent example, and it was like something I've been, I guess I've known this for a while and I've had this understanding, but it's just something that it becomes a lived practice over time. So this is what happened. So I was driving with my significant other through town, and we happened to pass a movie theater that was playing the new Star Wars movie, and he mentioned that he might see it with one of his friends from work because it was right around the corner from where they work. And so I thought, okay, that's cool. And I might have had like a fleeting thought of like, oh, but wouldn't he want to see it with me? Like, that's, who I go to movies with often. But, I can go with friends and everything. So there's no real need to be attached to him as the person that I go to movies with. So I released any kind of like attachment to that. It's not a big deal. And then in 1 or 2 days following that, I was working and in a meditative state, and it just came to me to ask a friend how the movie was because I was seeing all of these mixed reviews. And I thought, I wonder if it's even worth seeing. So I texted this friend, and they immediately texted me back, oh, it's funny that you ask. I'm actually going to the movie in an hour with some friends, and I have an extra ticket. Do you want to come? So I basically had aligned with my mode of seeing that movie, the group of people to go with, the ticket, everything was just set up for me, and I didn't have to stress about where it would come from. And so I'm happy that I didn't hold any resentment towards my significant other for not planning to take me, because that would have been really petty and like unnecessary when the universe had lined up so that when I was in a receptive mode, I aligned with my ticket and the time that I was meant to see it. And it was actually really good in my opinion, because there was a lot of like metaphysical, supernatural, like meditative kind of story integrated with the plot. So I loved that. But anyway, so that's my lesson about not being attached to where things come from or who they come through or how they get to you. But it's all just the divine knowing what you need to do, when you need to do it, according to your higher intentions, and then aligning you with mode of fulfilling that. And you don't always know what that will look like. So if you get attached and get angry at someone, you are limiting yourself. So back to that. So, okay, a lot of blocks to manifesting actually happen because incidentally, you block manifesting your desire if you look not directly to the source, but rather at secondary sources, because these sources are not your providers and they will often fall short, but your adamant belief in them will end up blocking you from receiving the gifts more widely from the universe. So like if I had set my sights on seeing that movie with one particular person and they were going to do something else, then I am now effectively blocking my route to receiving that outcome that I want because I was too attached to one specific way of it happening. So mode of manifestation or whatever. Okay, so I know it's a lot to ask of you who live in this society on earth as it is now to trust in the infinite abundance that the universe has for you. You've been cut off from the material world and you don't see how food proliferates. Sorry, you've been cut off from the natural world. It's important. The natural world, and you don't see how food proliferates itself. Water also is meant to be abundantly available for you. But you have been taught that you have to work hard to procure your basic human needs, such as food and shelter and love and learning. You have been trained in lack consciousness. And this was the proverbial fall from the garden. This was when humans were cut off from their birthright, a birthright which is eternal connection to God as the source of abundance and goodness. Abundance and goodness. So, now you have a chance to recover that state. And it is nice to be able to recognize how your current problems and your current blessings as well are pointing you to larger solutions. I hope you can take the lessons easily and grow in magnificent ways. If you need support or clarity in this, please contact me. My website is listed below for coaching services, or buy my book. In the corner here you can see it's called You Are God, a handbook for the divine in each of us, and it is going to help you unfold this concept even further. It's available on Amazon or by emailing me. Many love and blessings to you. And additionally, please note that not everyone is able to digest this level of understanding. It requires a state of brain and a certain level of enlightenment to even ponder these concepts. So I applaud you if you were able to stay to this point of the video and to understand. Just know that proper meditation, proper eating, proper exercise, doing your duty and prayer, and etc. can help you to assimilate these ideas even more fully into your consciousness and into your life. Good luck. I really believe in you, and this is the time for us to do this. So I'm going to strive to do it more and more every day and to live in the consciousness that really is unified and harmonious. And I believe that you can do it, and I am so excited to hear how it works for you. So please comment, subscribe, and like this video and share it with people who could appreciate it and learn from it. Okay, much love and many blessings to you. Good luck.